world. If you've got a guy who 3 of his wives leave, it's a problem with the man. You know it. You know it's a problem with the man.
You've likely watched the scene on Sister Wives when Kody took Aurora to have her ears pierced, right? Well, let me cut you off right there. That scene wasn't. It's just stage, it was out-and-out fiction, and today I'm giving you the behind-the-scenes scoop. On what really went down, hi friends, welcome back, I'm Sienna, and this is the TLC Future. Let's discuss ear piercings not merely as accessories, but as symbols of much deeper familial dynamics and control. Here's the reality I never desired my daughters to have their ears pierced when they were little, so think about how I felt when the show depicted Kody taking Aurora in to have hers. Done like it was some great milestone plot twist, her ears had already been pierced years earlier than even that. Scene was film proof. Look to their Las Vegas ears. There's even real footage such as that drawn-up family picture Robyn had done where you can see earrings in the ears of Aurora. Why fake it then? Why do something that already existed? Because it wasn't about earrings, it was about image, about control, about who gets to be obedient or rebellious within the family, and it all circulates around how things shifted when Robyn came along. Let's rewind. When I originally married Mary, she didn't even have pierced ears. In fact, I removed my own earrings so that I could be like her in terms of values. Janelle had hers pierced, but when she married Kody, she quit wearing them. Christine had 2 piercings but discarded the earrings during marriage. As well, earrings were more than jewelry, they were a statement, and Kody was a rule maker. Next came Robyn. She initially went along with Kody's stringent rules. No earrings, minimal makeup, demure clothing. She was trying to be considered the good wife. But then something changed. Robyn began sporting heavier makeup, skimpier clothes, and yes, earrings, and Kody. He no longer seemed to care about it. This quiet realignment broadcast a loud message. As Robyn grew up, so did the expectations. Suddenly Janelle and Christine were permitted makeup and earrings once more. It was as though the rules had changed, but not for everyone. Now here's where it gets all the more knotted. When the other wives permitted their daughters to pick when to pierce their ears, they were remonstrated with for being disrespectful or disobedient. But Robyn, she spun a totally different story. She positioned herself as the rule follower, the devoted mom. Remember that staged moment with Aurora? The show made it seem like Aurora was patiently waiting for Kody's permission, that it was a sweet daddy otter moment, but the truth? It was a setup. Due to only one parent could accompany her, and surprise, she chose Kody. That was no coincidence. It was a staged effort to rewrite their family history. Let that sink in. Kody could go get earrings with Aurora, but he couldn't sit through his daughter's spinal surgery with Christine. The contrast is heartbreaking, and the original kids, they're not blind to this dynamic. They precisely know where they are standing. Let's not forget about the role of being on television, residing in Vegas, and the stress of keeping up an image. Everyone's look changed over time, but Robyn, she took it further. She utilized the show to reenact a personal memory, a childhood ear-piercing experience she had with her stepdad. Honestly, that's bordering on nostalgic to distasteful. Next time you catch a sweet moment on Sister Wives, ask yourself, who's writing the story anyway? Did anyone else sense that tension creeping up during the ear-piercing ceremony? You could almost feel the jitters in the air. Aurora's over the top, clapping, her forced skipping. It all seemed so rehearsed. None of that scene felt natural. Even Kody's responses were strange. His words, the attempt to be calm but emotive, it did not ring true. He was acting, not parenting. And then the ultimate line: Aurora has honored my authority as father. Convenient words, aren't they? This wasn't a heartwarming family milestone. It was a staged effort to put Kody in a positive light and send also underhanded guilt trips to the remaining part of his children. Call it what it is, stage, okay? Drama, not genuine emotion. And talking about performances, let's discuss the reactions of Kody after Garrison's untimely death. That's when things really went strange. Is anybody else getting the higibbies though? Not the emotional kind. When Kody started discussing grief coursing through his esophagus. Yes, his esophagus. He delivered it as if Sorrow or some sort of projectile feeling blasting off from his throat. What was that even the whole funeral segment was like? Kody's one-man play when Gwendolyn dissolved into tears. Who came to comfort her? Robyn, always on camera. Then the dream, yes, the dream in which Garrison apparently instructed Kody to quit playing depressing tunes. It was less sentimental and more cringeworthy. A poorly scripted soap opera, and the cowboy monologue that was the clincher. Kody recounted himself traveling by train alongside a coffin, a la a vintage spaghetti western, throw in his melodramatic pose and designer cowboy bling. And you'd think you were observing a character from a period drama, not a bereaved father. Let's get real here. Observing Kody and Robyn mourn doesn't inspire sympathy, it inspires skepticism. The emotion is so melodramatically played, so histrionic, that it actually belittles authentic grief. Subsequent seasons would truly be more believable without them. The glare on their practiced grief is tiresome. Kody appears to exist in some sort of fantasy western in which he's a solitary cowboy. Stoic, misinterpreted, excessively bed-tin turquoise, and emotionally inaccessible. And then there's that line from the funeral, "Why you gone, boy?" It was to be poignant, but it fell somewhere between uncomfortable and ridiculous. Perhaps the dream occurred, perhaps it didn't. But with Kody, every sentence comes across as an audition to gain sympathy instead of actual contemplation. Even when he talks, it's a bizarre mix of complicated words and meandering ideas, as if he is using a thesaurus to sound profound, but the point never quite comes across. And let's not even mention his understanding of human anatomy. Grief doesn't pierce through your lungs like some internal firework display. So the takeaway here is, when you watch these episodes, look beneath the surface. The emotion may be boisterous, but that does not make it authentic. Sometimes the silence of those off-camera tells us much more. Let's discuss that line again. Grief shooting out of my esophagus. Not just medically incorrect, it's weirdly theatrical. It sounds like something he learned from a soap opera, thought sounded deep and ran with it. But grief, actual grief, isn't poetry. It's not a monologue. It's raw, it's ugly, it dismantles you in areas no one notices. Some people talk about deep, hurting sob sounds that stay with you, that haunt you, that cause you to wake up gasping for air at night. That's sadness. Kody's, though, it was all about shot placement and lines. Worse, what makes it even more difficult to swallow is that Kody hardly had a relationship with Garrison. He confirmed it himself. "I don't remember telling my boys that." Sentence in itself says a lot. He wasn't present in their lives. He dodged actual talk, actual touch, except if Robyn happened to be around. Now, all of a sudden, he's in the limelight, spewing metaphors regarding trains, sunsets, and celestial awakenings, occupying emotional space as if he was grieving the most. Not the siblings, not the mother, him. And then there was the recurring dream. Again, Garrison supposedly went to see him and instructed him to cease playing melancholic music. That tale seemed to have been chosen specifically to tug at the heartstrings of Mormon audiences, a group Kody no longer even claims association with publicly. He left the religion recall. So what's the purpose apart from attempting to look spiritually attuned? That's the way it is with narcissistic bereavement. It's less about who's lost, it's more about how the narcissist feels about losing someone.